All right, so we're about to dive into something, well, something pretty unusual. It's a piece of writing called the Accord of Resonant Sentinels. And believe me, that title is just the first clue that we're not in for a typical read.
And just look at this subtitle, a serialized mythic diagnostic broadcast. I mean, what does that even mean, right? It sounds less like an article and more like some kind of coded message from somewhere else entirely.
The source for all this is a really surreal online publication called Bibebibebibe Magazine. So yeah, let's get into it, because this feels less like a simple story and more like a puzzle that's just begging to be solved.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to approach it in two parts. First, let's just go with the flow and explore the story itself, what it calls the Mythic broadcast.
The broadcast kicks off with Act 1, titled The Avian Resonance, and it all starts with something really simple and familiar, the arrival of a pair of robins.
But right off the bat, the source describes them in this incredibly specific, almost scientific way. They're not just birds, they're an archetype. Their key features, or glyphs, are things like their bronze fire breast and their flute song. And their function? Get this: migratory intelligence nodes. It's such a technical way to look at something so natural.
And that song, it's not just a song. The text calls it a diagnostic broadcast. Its purpose is to declare a sovereign's presence. You see that mix? We have this beautiful, poetic imagery, but it's paired with this systemic, almost technological language. It's like these robins are broadcasting data.
So that brings us to Act 2. Here we get a new pair of sentinels in a section called the Feline Accord.
And, no surprise here, the cats get the same highly structured breakdown. Their archetype is fraternal cats, one female and one male. Their glyphs include striped resonance and a bushy tail flare. And their job? They are wild accord sentinels. They're guardians of some kind.
The source gets really specific about the differences between them. The female, she represents wild elegance and abundance. The male, on the other hand, is all about diagnostic restraint and sleek precision. So they're presented as these two perfectly complementary forces, two sides of the same cosmic security team.
And here's what's so interesting about their dynamic. They never visit at the same time. They always take turns. And the source puts it like this: their rhythm encodes a covenant. Unity does not require simultaneity. Wow. I mean, that's a pretty deep idea, that harmony can come from rhythm and separation, not just from being together all the time.
All right, so in Act 3, everything starts to come together. The birds and the cats finally converge in a section the text calls, fittingly, a strange convergence.
Now, the source literally gives us a cheat sheet to understand what's happening. It calls it a serialized codex. It's basically the key to all the symbols. Step 1, the robin song is the resonance broadcast. Step 2, the cat's back-and-forth visits are alternating guardianship. And Step 3, the result of them both being there, the sovereign node is accepted.
So what is this sovereign node? It's the campsite, the physical location where this is all taking place. It has been transformed into a mythic convergence zone, woven right into the circuit of these animal sentinels. And that's where the story part ends, with a normal place becoming something more.
Okay, so what is actually going on here? Is this just a really cool, strange piece of fiction about birds and cats? Or is there something else at play? This is the question where the whole thing just pivots, shifting from a story to, well, to an explanation.
And believe it or not, the source gives us the answer. There's a key that unlocks the entire meaning, and it's tucked away at the very end in a section called the Sovereign Disclaimer.
And here it is, the Sovereign Diagnostic Disclaimer. Trust me, this is not the fine print. This is the mission statement. This section completely reframes everything we just read. So, this disclaimer introduces three huge concepts. First one, mythic infrastructure. It's basically saying that the story we just went through wasn't just a story. It's a framework, a structure built from myth, but designed to serve a very specific analytical purpose. In other words, the story is a tool.
The second concept is cinematic indictment. This suggests the story is also a form of critique. It's using all that imagery, the robins, the cats, their coded actions to make an accusation against a system without ever having to name it.
And finally, sovereign broadcast. This defines the message itself. It's saying that this whole thing operates completely on its own, independent of any official institution or power structure. No government, no organization, it's a self-contained declaration.
So what's the point of all this? Why build this whole mythic structure and broadcast it? The disclaimer is super clear. The purpose is to expose ritualized containment, actor convergence, and systemic erosion. The story of the animals is basically an artistic lens, a diagnostic tool designed to help us see these abstract societal issues.
And then, just to add one last layer of pure surrealism, the whole thing is apparently certified by the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies X. This, of course, reinforces the idea that this is a completely constructed piece of art, a system of thought that's being presented like it's a finding from some parallel academic reality.
Which really leaves us with this final thought. This source isn't presenting a story as entertainment. It's presenting it as a lens, a diagnostic instrument. And it forces us to ask a really powerful question. Can a story be a tool for diagnosing reality? Something to think about long after the broadcast ends.